All right, guys, so I'm going to record a video that will hopefully help you see the visual of how this folding happens. Again, the reason we're doing the folding is because proportionally, no matter how long the wavelength is, it will always be set up correctly for that wavelength, because the folding is just halving, thirds, etc. So here we go. I'm going to get started. That's a cleaner sheet of paper right there. And going lengthwise, this up and down is 17 inches, all right? So I'll just put 17 inches right there so you can kind of see. That's how long the height of your sheet of paper is. So make sure that you're not starting this way with a very long height, all right? Your amplitude, your y-axis is only gonna be 17. Cool, all right, let's not dally. I'll flip this over since we have that written on there, and I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna fold lengthwise, all right? So that I fold this guy in half, and I've got two congruent rectangles, top and bottom. This is going to be my 0 line. I can draw a line right here, and yours is obviously gonna be bigger. In order to get this to actually fit on a screen, I had to use an 8.5 by 11, but the premise is gonna be exactly the same, all right? Now, I'm going to fold this guy into quarters like this, but quarters in that I folded this guy in half, and now I'm gonna actually fold it one more time to get my quarters. So what I did when I folded it in half initially was 360 divided by 2. That was 180. And then when I divided it by 2 again, I got 90 and 270 on my y-axis. So let me go ahead. I'm going to set these guys up because they will help us be good guidelines for exactly how far we are on our function. So you should be doing this as well, and you can pause the video at any time, obviously, so that you can go ahead and finish some of these things that are a little bit longer for you to do than it is for me on the video. So I've got something set up just like this. That's gonna be my 0, all right? Here's my here's my 90, here's my 180, here's my 270, and then that's gonna be my 360. That looks like a 9. There we go, 360. Cool. So 90, 180, 270, 360. Now, I'm going to set up the thirds, all right? So in order to fold thirds, the way I taught everyone today and the other day was go and make this look like we're gonna do it twice, 2 different folds of thirds, all right? Make it look almost like a house, like a window, excuse me, and you can open the window. Hey, all right? We're gonna fold this guy into thirds, and we're gonna fold this guy into thirds as well. So the way that I fold into thirds is I kind of bring this over, and I'm not creasing until I'm absolutely sure, all right? I'm gonna keep rolling this over, and this is a really good sign. That's why it's really good to put something on your paper right away, because now you can kind of see how this is lining up. I don't know if it's easy for you to see or not. It should be, all right? Now I'm gonna just kind of double check if this guy is kind of creased in the corner, which he is. Is that the same on this side? Yeah, looks good, all right? So you might have a partner to help you with that. And once I can confirm that the creases are going to be, you know, the end of that page, this guy was kind of in the crease. Now, it's not perfect. I could have maybe done that a little bit better, all right? But I got it a little bit, could fix that a little bit maybe, but this is gonna generally purpose be fine for us, all right? So hopefully you can see how these guys are divided into thirds. I'm gonna do this again on this side. Maybe I can do it even better this time. So, all right, I'm rolling it. It's almost like it's a tube at this point. I'm gonna just kind of push back, and that looks like that actually is pretty good. This looks better than the last time. And I think this guy looks like it's gonna be better than the last time too, good. I was just kind of making sure that the fold is up in the crease, all right? And once I know that it is, I see this guy lining up perfectly, and it looks like the sides of my paper are lining up. Go ahead and make a hard crease there, all right? So now you can see, I'm gonna label every single one of these x-axis points. I've got 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, and lastly 360. So now I've labeled all of the important parts on my x-axis. Note that it goes from 0 to 360. We're not only going to 180, we're going the entire rotation of the circle, or the entire frequency of our sine wave. So now I need to set up the different y-axis points. And so I'm just going to fold both sides, but I'll start on the bottom. Fold this guy in half towards the center, all right? And then I'm gonna do it again. Fold this guy in again towards the center. And what I'm doing here is I just folded it in half, so I had 0.5. When I folded it again, I'm making my 0.25 and 0.75 lines, all right? If I do it again on this side, I'll mark everything in a second. So, and it's really good, you can use the lines that you have drawn right here and your folds right there, line them all up, and if they line up, you're in good shape, all right? Fold this guy over one more time. Cool. Nice. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna label my diagram up to this one, my graph. So this is up at 0.25, this is at 0.5, this is at 0.75, and then the tippy top of my sheet is 1, all right? So going all the way to the top is 1. And I'm gonna do the same thing going down, right? Negative 0.25, negative 0.5, negative 0.75, and then negative 1. That's not a 7, that's a negative 1. All right, hopefully that's clearer. Nice. All right, so I got going up quarters, sections and quarters going down. Now we're looking at how are we gonna graph this guy. We've basically got the setup for a graph. We've got our 90, 180, 290. Everything is divided into sections of 30. We're actually gonna want our 45 in a second. So I'm gonna show you guys on the calculator. I'm graphing sine of x, and we have this sine graph here that we're familiar with. What are the points then on the sine graph that I want that are critical for graphing this in order to make sure I get a proper curve? Second table, all right, so if I do that on my calculator, I'm gonna see all of the values that are printed here. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go into table set and make this guy go up by 15s. That will make it a lot easier. All right, cool. So now you can see I'm going up 15 degrees each time. There's my 30, there's my 60, there's my 90. The ones that are critical for us are going to be these top 5 right here, 0 through 0.866, all right? Now, 0.25 is actually really not critical for us. The ones we're gonna be seeing more and focusing on are the 0.5, 0.707, 0.866, all right? Those are the guys that we're gonna be seeing a lot more when we're looking at triangles in the future. But this guy gives me a good guideline, and I can kind of easily cheat in when 15 degrees is and put 0.25, since that's already one of my lines. So, here we go. We still need to get the 45, all right? So I don't have a 45-degree angle line on here, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna fold this guy in half, all right? I've already made that crease, that's at the 90. And then I'm gonna fold it again in half, and now I'm making a new crease, which is gonna give me my 45 degrees. And it's gonna look kind of weird, right? Because it's not gonna look totally even. Your lines should not be totally even in that this 45 is directly in between the 30 and the 60. This 135, 120. This 135 is directly in between the 120 and the 150. So I haven't done that over here yet. Let me go ahead and do it. And I'm going to put in my additional 45-degree multiples. This guy's gonna be 225. And then this guy is gonna be 315. All right, if at any point in this video you needed to go back and pause, this is a good place to go back and pause. If you've got something that looks like this right now, and you've got boom, 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 a nice big space, and then 3 lines like that, and it keeps showing up just like this, hopefully you can see it decent on the video, then you're in good shape, we can go forward. So moving forward, we need to find 2 more points. If you notice that this is 0.25, we got a 0.25 pretty nicely, that's good. We have a 0.5, right on the money. We have 0.707. Well, we have 0.75, and And I could kind of cheat where I think 0.707 would be, but I'm gonna kind of give a more exact way of figuring that out in a second with a new fold. And then 866, well, hey, that's pretty much right in the middle of 0.75 and 1. So as a good estimate as far as trying to plot this guy, we're going to make a fold starting at the top, where we bring the top of this down to 0.75. So I'm basically folding this top quarter in half. And half of a quarter is 0.125. And if you were to add 0.75 and 0.125, you get something very close to 0.866. You get 0.875. But that is extremely close to 0.866. So we're going to use that guy and this line that I just created, this crease, in order to graph that 60-degree line, all right? So I've got that crease. I'm gonna make sure it's still creased, and now I'm gonna bring the new crease that I made down to 50 degrees. This is what's gonna give me my 0.707. So there's my 50-degree line. I've got it lined up with my other lines, and everything looks like it's okay. Good, all right, so now, got this kind of funky thing where this is very thin and then this is divided and I got a bunch of big areas on the bottom here. But this is exactly what we want, all right? This is gonna be 0.707. That line is close to 707, close enough for our graphing. So let's go ahead, we're gonna just do that again down here. So one more time for the world. I'm making this halved, boom. So I got my negative 0.866 line. All right, so negative 0.866. And now, with that new crease line, I'm going to bring this guy down to the 0.5 so that the 866 line, or 866 crease, kisses the 0.5 line, overlaps it directly. And I've now created my negative 0.707 line. All right, nice. Now we have all of the lines that we need that are critical. I'm just gonna make sure that it doesn't curl up too much on you guys there. All right, hopefully that lays a little flatter for you. I'm gonna flip it back around now, all right? So hopefully you can see I've created all the critical lines that we need. All right, going back to our table here, we've got a 0.25, we've got a 0.5, we got a 707 now, we've got an 866 now. Honestly, if you want to just alleviate any confusion, you can just erase the 0.75 because it was a means to an end, but we're actually not graphing anything on that line at all. So, so yeah, we're going to, this guy was right there, and then that's to there. So this was that line right there. This is my 0.707 line. All right, thank you for taking that time with me. I wanted to correct that and make sure I didn't mess that up at all. All right, cool. So I've got 866, 707, I've got negative 707, I've got negative 866, so I'm in good shape. Let me start by making my graph. And so you'll see where these points are coming from when I look at the table right here. 0 is gonna be at 0, and that's at the far left side of my graph. All right, this 15, though I don't have it here, I'm gonna just kind of throw a point somewhere in between the 0 and 30 at the 0.25. It's a guideline for myself. Now we get into the points I really care about. 30 degrees, 0.5. All right, so notice I'm going up from 30 to 0.5. All right, 45 degrees, 0.707. Now we're at that 707 number. 60 degrees, up to 0.866. All right, and then this guy ends at 1 when I get to 90 degrees. So let me go ahead and let me kind of give you what this little part of it's gonna look like. Cool. All right, it's starting to look good. It was nice that I had some guides, all right? And now everything's just gonna be reflected, all right? I got a reflection there. I'm on the 707 line, and I'm gonna reflect it over at the 135 line right here, because that's the 45 degrees, 45, 135, right? 45, 45, 45. All right, I'm going over to 150.5. All right, again, I'm gonna just cheat in a little bit there. And that's the one in between 150 and 180 at the 25. All right, and all right, cool. All right, so it's not the most beautiful sine wave, but it works, and I've got my critical points there, and we're gonna be using those critical points later to look at special right triangles and all kinds of other stuff. So this guy just winds up kind of being hinged in, just like we did in the other day. So I'm just gonna kind of keep going, making basically the same point pattern going down around so you can see this whole thing finished. If you think you're good, awesome, just watch. You can fast forward to the end to make sure that everything is good for you and that you've got this, and yours will look like mine. Otherwise, you can just sort of see I went down to -25, -0.5, -707, -866, -1. Now I'm coming back up to -866. Now I'm at 315. That's my next 45 line. So I'm gonna go right there at the -707. I'm at another 30-degree mark, so this guy, -0.5, that's my little cheat line. And here we go. I'm going to, I probably could do that a little bit better. But for the sake of being done and having you guys see the example that has been put out here, hopefully that seeing this on a video will help you kind of get to this spot, and hopefully that the camera work wasn't too terrible. All right, thank you for sticking in there.